We're here at Mount Angel, and it's been a little bit more than a year since our Camino in May of 2024. Right? And so finally we were talking about going back and every month or so doing a practice walk, but such is life, and life's been busy, and so finally we did it. So we're very happy, and guess what? Today it started to rain again, so we're hiding here in a coffee shop in Mount Angel Abbey. All right, so here's Dak again. He should look familiar to you guys.
In March of 2024, we ran into the mother of one of our students, whom we had lost contact with for about 12 years. We asked about her son, our student. She informed us that he needed a life direction change, a break from his existing environment to clear his head. As his teacher, I felt the responsibility. A few days later, we met up with our student Dad, who is now a fully grown 25-year-old man. And the only thing I could come up with was, hey, let's take a walk. 2 months after this meeting, Dad and I went for a long walk, 300 kilometers on the Camino Frances. 12 years is a long time. There was much to talk about.
Yeah, well, Don asked me, like, what is life like now after the Camino? I wanted to start with how life was before the Camino. Let's just say that I was at home for 5 years straight, just kind of going nowhere mentally and physically. Well, I wouldn't say mentally, because you have a lot of time to think, and you don't really know what you attain in that time until later on in life, when you have the certain nutrients to really bloom or feed the concept of it and understand why you went through it. So before going on this Camino, I honestly thought, like, can I even actually do this? I used to work out and be all this athletic and stuff, but I was inside for 5 years straight. I thought to myself, can I really do this? Do I really want to do this? What can I get out of it? It kind of almost felt like God was telling me that my life is going to change after this. So I was just like, I owe it to myself to go find out what is in store. And while I was going through it, I was just enjoying the moment and coming to a lot of realizations. And after coming home from the Camino, I felt like, wow, what was it? I didn't really understand what I learned during the Camino. Actually, there was this very simple one. I made a lot of accomplishments, like one in a lifetime things, or things I haven't ever done before, which is walk over huge mountains, right? Those were the easy ones to actually feel, right? And then there's this very unique one that I didn't understand until later on, when things started happening, when I allowed it to, or made the decision to open the door to it. But basically, walking in the Camino, right? I was an introvert. I don't really like talking to people. I don't like connecting. I walked for like about 15 miles a day, right, Don? Like,
yes.
Around that amount, 15 miles. And I don't like hiking. I don't really like doing those things, but I really did enjoy it the last time that I did it with Don. And so I didn't have a job for 5 years or whatever, and after, somehow there's this opportunity for solar, right? And I was a door-to-door guy. Not a lot of people agree with this type of job, but it actually allowed me to walk every day. It's almost as if, like, this trip with Don opened up the door for me to, like, prepare to do this job, which is walk around every day and connecting with people who are at home. You might run into some people who find it quite rude for you to invade their privacy, but you do get to meet people who appreciate the contact with life, and I'm all super grateful for what's happening, and I'm sure there's still things that happen in the Camino that I've yet to understand fully on what's its purpose right here and now today. You know, so my mind is still ongoing. It's but it's almost like a miracle. You know, it's almost like a miracle. I find it oddly coincidental. You know, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it was a life-changing experience.
I like that. Yeah. Thank you, Dad. Yeah, so it's a life-changing experience, yes, for Dak, and certainly for me as well. So I've learned a lot since the Camino, and yeah, I'm glad Dak did spend the time with me on those 2 weeks or 17 days that we went on. Still talk about it. So yeah, obviously it made a difference in life for me as well. So would you do it again, Dak?
Most definitely. I'm for sure going back. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm not going back. I'm coming back with one or two other individuals, or maybe a group of 4, honestly. But I want everyone to have this experience. You know, if you feel stuck, if you feel like there's not like an answer to your way of life, try to go on this walk. It'll clear your mind, and you'll be able to like kind of expand, I guess. I'll tell them what's to come, you know, like oh, where the albergue or like which one we should try, you know. But I don't want to be the one to like dictate anything for them, you know, so that they can grab onto it.
Yeah. So you would do it again, huh? Yeah. Any idea when?
I'd say it's gonna have to be like years.
Yeah, so everyone walked their own Camino, right? Yeah, what do you think about the coffee in Spain?
The lady who gave the tour said he came twice.
It's just like any other coffee, to be honest. I'm not really like a huge coffee guy. I think it's really good though, but like the beer in Spain is a different story though.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing that we didn't really have a lot of time, it was at Finisterre. We walked to the last mile, and we saw this guy with this giant flute, remember? So that place actually had really good seafood, but we didn't find it. I guess the simplicity of the Camino, you know, where you wake up in the morning and you put on your walking clothes and you walk, you know, grab your walking stick or whatever you use, and you carry your backpack, you start walking. Life was really simple, right, on the Camino. Do you carry any of that home in your life?
I mean, I've always been a simpleton, you know, like I've always like been able to use this this term that is like it's enough to worry about today than to worry about like tomorrow, you know. And I've been able to use that a lot, you know, like even before the Camino, you know, and it just hits much harder now, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just as life goes. It's like, how can you be focused on all these things at once while you're trying to solve this one problem? You know, so and actually I've been after this Camino, you see, before the Camino I would be everywhere all at once. I'd be in the past, the present, and the future, so I couldn't even be a person that I was happy with, you know. It was contradicting, but now I feel like I can actually live in the present a lot more, and I can dictate when I want to go to the future and the past, this and that, and it's a lot more peaceful, actually. It's a lot more peaceful, and it's not as toxic as it used to be. Does it run on solar?
No, I think it's run on battery. The robo lawnmower. Look at that. We saw him all the way back there. And he's just kind of going by himself. I think I need one of these at home.
It doesn't look like he's mowing anything.
It does.
I think the grass is just too short already.
Yeah, too short. Basically, he's probably running this every day. So every day, just kind of clipping it a little bit.
Even if I don't have the last ounce of energy in me, and if God wanted me to keep going, He will restore my energy with one person, one good person that I talk to.
That day when we went up Cruz de Ferro, the Iron Cross, very early in the morning, I went to ask Dak what was going through his mind. So here's his answer.
Well, I mean, are you talking about the one where there was a bunch of rocks that people have left?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my mind was sort of just like on how I was feeling in that moment, like that area, like it gave me the sense of like memory and a lot of things that's happened there. And one of those rocks could have been there for ages, stuff like that. But mainly I just felt a lot of people poured in their emotion to being in that single spot particularly. And then they decided to leave a rock for memory cases, yeah, I was here. That area was definitely like on top 3 list. On the Camino, you see one thing and you're like, wow, it's so amazing, right? What's next, right? And then you see these things, right? And then you're like, okay, that's got to be it, like there's nothing left. And you genuinely get this feeling where you're like, yeah, there's nothing left, like this is just gonna be another day now. And then I go there. That was what's on my mind before I saw that cross. It's just something so simple, like something so simple, but it felt insane to see.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about seeing that cross. It was like I'm saying, being there was a whole different feeling. And I saw Snoop Dogg up there too.
You did?
Did you see the statue of Snoop Dogg?
Yes, that was Sandrog. Yeah, Sandrog. Yeah, you told me you see Snoop Dogg. Hey, do that when you see Snoop Dogg. I remember you asked me that question.
Conversation the first 3 days. And then for the 4th, 5th day, maybe, we had conversations in the mornings, and then we would just kind of like have our own peace of mind and thoughts to ourselves later on in the day while we're finishing up, right? And then I started meeting some people, this and that, right? And that was like in the middle of the journey where we would just have time to ourselves to think, because I was walking ahead or just like,
Yeah.
And then I remember like sometime, let's say we're 70% there, right? We had this walk where we're about to reach the mountains, where they had all the it was a very long way to that spot that didn't have Wi-Fi. You remember where I was complaining? It's like that very big building, where there was the chapel that you went to church, but I was in there because my leg was dead. But the very beginning of that journey was when we had this very deep conversation about like the pressure of life and like this duty that God bestowed upon me, and how He gave me everything I wanted, but then He warned me that I wasn't ready, but I wanted it anyways. And then I told Him to take it back. Stories, I mean that part, right? And then near the end was when I went with those other guys to experience this other part of it, right? And then we ended up meeting up at the end, and that was when we had our final, talk and stuff.
Yeah, that was a 42-kilometer day, 30 miles day.
Yeah, no, oh my goodness, I remember that.
Yeah. You know, I was on a couple of conference calls that day too. For
Yeah,
work.
you did tell me that.
So that was pretty crazy. So
We met at the ice cream spot.
yes,
I was like, where's Don? He's like 30 minutes behind. So when you think about it that way, we're all connected. So why not like connect with each other?